Hey everybody, it's Emily at Arc Schooling and I'm outside to film this video today because it's just too pretty out to be inside. So today we're going to be doing my 5-star predictions accurate video. So at the beginning of the year I decided to do something different. I don't usually do these kinds of things, but I made it a goal that I was going to read my shelves. And to do that, I wanted to motivate myself to pick up those books that have been there for so long. So I decided to do a 5-star prediction video. I'm going to link it somewhere for you guys to go back and reflect on what I said in that original video. So today we're going to talk about those books. I read 4 out of the 5 that I talked about in that video. One of them I guess is just never gonna happen. Maybe I'll pick it up at some point. It just never happened at the first half of this year. That book is The Fair Fight by Anna Freeman. I do still really want to get to this. It's just for whatever reason, I don't know. I have not yet picked it up. And I thought about putting it in my 5-star predictions for the second half of the year, but then it's just, I don't know. I want to read this. It hasn't happened yet. So now let's talk about the books that I did read. So one of my 5-star predictions was They Went Left by Monica Hesse, and I have to say that I was correct. This is indeed a 5-star book. I loved this. This is a story about like the aftermath of the Holocaust, and this girl is searching for her brother. She knows her whole family died, and she believes that her brother's still around. She just doesn't know where to find him. And so this is about her searching for him and trying to figure out what happens to her now that she's free, but not really. So I found this fascinating because, like, I don't know, I've read a lot of books about the Holocaust, and they always tend to focus on the events during the actual, like, event. And I wanted to know, like, well, what happens to a person once that event is over? Like, how do you go back to real life? How do you go back to your home where people literally kicked you out because they didn't want you there? Like, how do you reconcile after something like that? But I thought this book was beautiful, and it was definitely a 5-star. Another kind of morbid book, but I said Grass by Kum Suk Gendry Kim would be 5 stars. And again, correct. This was absolutely a 5-star book. This is a graphic novel about Korean women who were forced to become comfort women in World War II era Japan. And it's harrowing and dark, but I think the fact that it's a graphic novel kind of like made it easier to consume this kind of material. I think had this been a novel, it would have been too upsetting and too dark, but it was still upsetting and dark. I'm not gonna say it's not, but it was just the way the art style is used, and the way the author and the woman she's interviewing was just very frank about what happened to her and how it still affects her today, and like that kind of thing. It was really well done, and I highly recommend picking this up. Next, I'm going to talk about A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. This is the sequel to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. I loved An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. I thought that was just like such a great book. I liked this a lot. I'm going to say this was like 4.5 stars, like somewhere between 4 and 5. I think my only real issue with this is that Hank got a little carried away with the commentary at times, and I felt like it almost took you out of the story a little bit because there was just so much of that. But yeah, I still thought it was a good conclusion to the story, and I still really enjoyed a lot of the commentary. I'm not going to say that I didn't, but I do feel like sometimes it was just like a little bit too much, and I wish he could have pulled back just a little, but he had a lot of things to say. I get it. So this was not exactly a 5-star, but it was pretty darn close. And then finally, I want to talk about Starfish by Akemi Dawn Bowman. 5 stars. Like this was beautiful. Her writing, I need to read everything by Akemi Dawn Bowman. I literally like went and filled up my shopping cart with her books and then went, not yet, because I'm trying not to spend money this month on extra things, so soon. But this book was just so well written. Kiko, the main character, was just, she feels like a real person. Like, I felt like I know her, and like I related to her a lot in some ways. Like, she has severe social anxiety, and but she's pushing herself to like try to get away from that. She has a lot of family issues that like I didn't relate to. Like, her mother's a narcissist, and that was her mother. Oh, her mother's hard to read. Like, that stuff was upsetting, and I don't know, I thought this was done in such a way that like you feel like you're reading about real people, and the stuff about her art and her kind of discovering what her art style is and figuring out her place in the world outside of what her mother expects of her. And I just, I still can't really talk about this book without like sounding like I'm crazy. I don't know. But I just thought it was really good, and I definitely am going to read everything that I can find by Kemi Don Bowman, because I thought this was beautiful. So I guess I am pretty good at predicting the books that I know I'm going to love. I just need to pick them up off my shelves and read them. So I'm going to film literally immediately following this. I'm going to film my predictions for the second half of the year, so you should stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Happy reading. Bye.